Okay, wonderful. So let's come to our seated position, maybe sitting up on a pillow if that feels good, but getting your spine nice and long, maybe shifting from side to side, maybe switching which leg is in front, just really trying to lengthen your spine. Good. So maybe just letting your shoulders, one come up, one come down, just trying to lengthen from the ears down through the shoulders. And speaking of shoulders, let's do some rounding of our back, bringing our shoulders forward. And then inhale, feel your shoulders reaching back. So just some sort of gentle rocking back and forth, and also maybe getting your head into it too. Good. Wonderful. Coming up nice and tall, releasing your arms. Inhale, coming up, palms together. Exhale, coming down to heart center. Lovely. Let's do a few more of those. Trying to get your spine longer on the inhale. On the exhale, keeping the spine long and letting your shoulders just come on down. So keep on going. I'm just going to let another person in. Good. Nice big inhale up. Slowly coming down. Good. Keep on going. I'm just going to have a little look. Hi. I won't yell out your name because I'm recording, but it's good to see you this morning. And this class is a bit more active than the Wednesday class. So just listen to your body. And if I say to do something and your shoulder says no thanks, just ignore me. So nice and tall, inhaling the arms up, slowly drawing everything down, letting the shoulders relax. Just a few more times, trying to take that nice big inhale, long spine, letting the shoulders relax down. Good. And settling in with your hands at heart center, gently pressing into your chest. Maybe tucking your chin a little bit. Maybe closing your eyes or staring at the floor. Start to notice sort of a softening of your lower belly on the inhale, letting your diaphragm pull down, letting your lower belly expand. And then feeling it gently pulling in on the exhale. Maybe casually counting how long your inhale is. Trying to match your exhale to be the same amount of time. Wonderful. Keeping this type of breathing. Let's reach our arms forward and just doing some wrist circles, waking up our hands. Let's have them come out. Let's imagine we're doing flamenco hands. So your wrists and fingers are getting some movement. Let's open our chest right up. So looking up, reaching your arms open, feeling that nice stretch through your arms. And then switching directions with your hands, gradually bringing your arms forward And as you do so, let's get a stretch in our back body. So sort of reaching your arms, feeling like a stretch through the shoulder blades, letting your head bow forward a little bit. Good, wonderful. Shaking everything out. Let's just wiggle out our shoulders a little bit. Wonderful. So let's come onto our hands and knees if that feels okay. You can also kind of mimic this from seated. So we're going to do our cow and cat. So inhale, arching your back. Exhale, rounding your back, letting your head droop. So going with your own breath. If your shoulders don't agree with this, you can also do it from seated. Just trying to lengthen your spine and then round your spine. So just listening to your body. I know we have some shoulder stuff going on, so just modify as you need. Good. Changing the pattern now. Taking a nice long inhale with the long spine. Your exhale, you're looking to one side, letting the other hip go. Inhaling back through center. Exhale, looking the other way. Good. Now we're going to get our shoulders and upper torso going. So we're going to drop, say, the right elbow and look towards the left, letting your body twist. Then inhale back through center and then doing it on the other side. So one shoulder's going down as the other one goes up, twisting your upper back. And if you're seated, you can just sort of twist side to side. That's another way to do it. We're just trying to find a way to get the upper back gently twisting. Now we're going to do something that's a little bit hard to feel, but I want you to picture your rib cage and your rib cage, you're in a tunnel and your rib cage is trying to go around the outside or sort of circle around the tunnel. So you're sort of dropping down and then have your rib cage go to one side. And it's almost like cat, your rib cage is pressing up, then your rib cage pressing to the side, and then your rib cage pressing down. So trying to get this kind of circular feeling. It's almost like your ribs are independent from your hips, and you're just trying to take them around in a circle. Good, and then switching directions the other way. It's almost like your ribs are a big spoon and they're trying to scrape peanut butter around the edges of a peanut butter jar. Good, wonderful. So let's get our pelvis going. So now we're going to imagine there's a pencil on your tailbone and you're trying to draw a circle on the back wall. So it's sort of like you're sticking out your tuchus, then your hips go one side, and then you're tucking your tail and sticking out your hips the other way. So trying to get kind of a circular feeling now in your lower body. These things can be kind of subtle, but it's almost like you're isolating your pelvis. Just trying to loosen up the pelvis. Good, and then switching directions the other way. Wonderful. So now we're going to come into our child's pose. So bringing your knees apart, toes coming together, and maybe having a pillow under your chest if that feels good. Maybe coming down onto the floor, stretching out your arms, taking a big inhale, and then let's letting things sink down. So on your inhale, you're just feeling your lower belly again, just expanding down towards the floor. And then on the exhale, I really want you to feel your hips, your pelvis getting heavy, sinking downwards. Wonderful. Now staying there, having a nice long inhale. And maybe if it feels good as you exhale, bending in your right elbow and reaching your left arm across till you're getting a nice stretch down the left side of your body. Maybe your head's resting on your right arm, maybe on a pillow, but just kind of shifting to the, reaching to one side until you feel a nice stretch up the side body, keeping that left hip nice and rooted. And as you inhale, really feel kind of a growing up your whole left side body, up your left arm, and then just letting things relax on the exhale. Wonderful. Coming back through center and just taking a minute to get your spine lengthened out again, getting your spine straight up and down. And then heading the other direction. So bending in your left arm to reach your right arm across. So you get a big stretch up the right side of your body. Good. Bringing everything back through center. One last nice long stretch. Then when you're ready, coming up onto your hands and knees. And we're going to wake up our feet. So we're going to be pressing our toes gently into the floor one at a time, just waking up the bottoms of our feet. So you've got your toes curled under, just one at a time, pressing into those toes. And then see about kind of pressing the floor away with those toes, almost like you're trying to brush the floor away. Good, and then lifting the toes up, giving them a wiggle. Maybe doing some ankle circles if your knees are okay with this. Good, so now we're going to keep our toes kind of curled. And our pattern is going to be inhale, arching and looking up. Exhale, pressing back a little bit, getting those stretch in the back and into the toes. So inhale, arch, exhale, Pressing back, getting sort of arm and back stretch. So maybe continuing with this, or you can switch it up so that we still have our inhale to arch, but on the exhale, we're coming into a gentle downward dog with maybe our knees bent. So inhale, gently coming down, looking up. Exhale, starting to wake up the backs of the legs, slowly coming back down. So we're using our arm strength to slowly bring our knees back down to the floor. Nice strong chest, waking up. So going with your own breath, nice slow inhale to slowly come down. Exhale, slowly pushing it back. And if you need to modify, just go for what feels good. Good, wonderful. So now the next time you're in your downward dog, staying there and starting to lengthen out one leg and then the other. Good, now let's lengthen out both legs, feeling your heels reaching down to the floor, that nice big stretch. Good, wonderful. Coming down onto your knees, and we're going to wake up our core. So to do that, let's lengthen out one leg behind us, getting your core super, super strong. Okay, so our backs of our legs are awake, so let's point that extended foot, and then we're gonna pull that heel in towards our body, feeling our hamstring contracting, and then stretching that leg out again. So let's exhale as we pull in. Inhale as you lengthen out, so your core is really engaged, and you're feeling your hamstring, bringing that heel towards you. And then I guess it's your quad you feel as you extend out. So toes are pointed for this. That's you're feeling it through the hamstring, probably up through the glute. Good, wonderful. Now putting that foot on the floor and just stretching out your hamstring, pressing into that heel. Wonderful. Now switching legs, starting by lengthening the leg out, feeling your core really pulling up, pressing the floor away. Let's start with our foot flex, just getting a nice stretch. Then pointing your toes. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, pointing out. Try and go nice and slow with your breath. Good. Time. And lengthening the leg out, foot on the floor, and just stretching out the whole back leg. Good, wonderful. So we've been on our hands a lot. So let's make our way up to standing, giving our wrists a little bit of a shake. Grabbing a drink of water if you need. Wonderful. Cut off my head. So we're going to come up to standing. Shaking everything out. Let's inhale our arms overhead. Grabbing our hands, exhaling, having a side bend. Inhale, coming up. Exhale the other way. Just with your own breath, your own speed. Wonderful. Inhaling up, arms coming on down. We're just going to balance a bit, getting our core woken up, woken up. So having your body sort of shift forward and back, shoulders press down, and feel as you kind of come on a bit to your heels or come on to your toes that your core is really strong, helping you not fall over. And if you fall over, all good. Wonderful. So now that we feel kind of our feet under us, we're going to come into warrior two. So it's like a lunge. Your front leg is, say, at 12 o'clock. Your front foot is pointed that way. Your back foot's pointed maybe to more like 3 o'clock. Strong core, and we're bending into that front knee. Let's just try and relax the shoulders a bit, kind of like we're a bird flapping our wings. So strong core, strong legs, pushing into the floor, but just try to let the arms be really gentle. Not shaking them out, but just trying to just gently get them moving. Good, wonderful. Now reaching your arms either way. Nice big inhales. You exhale, maybe bending into your front leg a little bit more. Now flipping your front palm, inhale, reaching up, tilting backwards. This back arm is maybe going down your leg. Maybe it's coming behind your back. Or reaching behind you like that. Just do what feels good for your body. Just breathing deep, feeling that big stretch up the front arm. Then one more big inhale. Then as you exhale, let's tip forward. This front forearm maybe gently resting on your knee, your back arm, reaching overhead. So now you're feeling that back foot really pressing into the floor. Feeling that big long line of stretch through your whole back body. Keeping that core engaged. Just looking where it feels good for your neck. And on your next inhale, reaching up, coming out of this. We're going to have both our feet turning to face forward, bringing our feet in a little bit more. Let's inhale our arms overhead. As you exhale, have them come down onto your hips. And maybe if this feels okay for your back, you're going to send your hips backwards, getting a long stretch in your spine. Then let's inhale, bringing our hips back up, maybe opening our chest to the ceiling. So it's sort of a hip hinge thing going on. As you exhale, long spine, strong core, and then inhale that strong core, looking up, feeling the shoulders and chest open. So just doing what feels good for your body. Wonderful. Now let's just let our hips go side to side, maybe bring your feet together a bit closer, just doing what feels good for a moment before you get back into the other side. Speaking of which, let's turn now. We're switching legs, finding our way to warrior two on the other side. So strong core. And let's just see if we can maybe do some shoulder circles, just really gently, kind of getting that soft, fluttering feeling in your upper body, but feeling your core strong and your lower body really grounded and strong. As long as your knees don't hurt, we're good to go here. Good. Wonderful. So now lengthening out your arms in either direction. Feel that big, nice stretch through your chest. And then we're going to flip our front palm. Inhale, tilting up and back, bending into that front knee, and then getting that big long stretch up your front body, letting that back arm maybe just rest on your leg or tuck around, maybe looking up towards your hands, breathing deep. They're full. Have that arm now reaching forward. Let's extend the back arm overhead, front arms maybe gently on your knee, and feeling that big stretch up through the whole back body, really grounding through that back foot. Good. My legs are getting tired, so let's come out of that. Inhale, coming on up, having both of your toes pointed forward, coming back together. And this time, let's just inhale, reaching up. And as you exhale, just come forward, maybe letting your shoulders shake out, maybe reaching down to the floor, maybe letting your arms just shake out like rag dolls, just whatever feels like a release, letting your head go. Good, wonderful. Now we're going to make our ways back down onto the floor. Coming on to your seat. Just going to wake up our core a little bit. So coming on to your seat with your feet in front of you. We're going to try and get really tall in our spine. Maybe this is enough for your core. Maybe you want to reach your arms forward. Maybe this is giving you a lot going on. So your spine's really long. Maybe you want to experiment with tipping back and lifting up your feet. So choose your own adventure here. You can also keep your feet on the floor and tip back that way. Just keeping your shoulders engaged. Just feeling the stomach going. Good. No matter where you are, let's start to twist a little bit. So inhaling through center, exhaling, twisting a bit the other way. But keeping the spine long the whole time. If your feet are in the air, all the power to you. Just breathing deep. Good. If your feet are in the air, bring them down, back onto the floor, and then let's slowly roll it down your spine, maybe putting your hands behind you till you come onto the floor, lengthening everything out into a big full body stretch. Good, wonderful. Taking a big inhale. And then as you exhale, walking your feet up until you're hugging in your knees. Just rolling side to side a little bit, feeling your back body getting massaged. Good, wonderful. Now we're going to do some dead bug. So we've got our knees bent, feet off the floor. And if it feels okay for your shoulders, reaching your arms up, or you can have your hands on the floor. Either way works. So what we're going to do is start by feeling your core really engaged. Actually, to feel that, let's just press our hands into our thighs for a moment or two and just feel how your core is becoming engaged. You can do a pretend cough and feel everything tightening up. So once you have that feeling, either hands on the floor or hands reaching up, keeping the core strong, we're going to reach one leg and arm down, and then exhale, tightening the core to bring everything up. So let's inhale to reach. Exhale, really use your core to pull everything in. So with your own breath, just making sure your lower back isn't squished into the floor. Your weight's more or less on your hips and your upper back. breathing deep and keeping that real feeling that it's your stomach muscles that are contracting to draw your leg and arm back. Just a few more, breathing deep. Good, wonderful. Putting your feet back on the floor, letting your arms open up, and then doing what feels good, maybe letting your knees just fall from side to side. Wonderful. So let's cross over your left leg. Maybe this is enough of a hip opener, maybe bringing your underneath heel in, maybe drawing your legs in. Just trying to get a big stretch on the outside of your leg. Rolling your head around and moving your shoulders, making sure your upper body's relaxed. And then just relaxing into it. Good. Putting your underneath foot back onto the floor, your right foot. Open up your arms and letting your knees fall to the left. Having that left sort of ankle pressing down gently on your right thigh, getting sort of a twisty outside of the hip stretch. And really feeling an openness through your chest. Wonderful. Bringing everything back through center. Untangling your legs, and just for a moment doing another full body stretch. Just feel everything lengthening out. Let's flex our feet, point them, just stretching out. And doing that on the other side. So bending up your knees and then crossing over your right leg, maybe staying here, maybe hugging it in. Once you get there, just sort of breathing deep, shaking out your head and shoulders and just relaxing into it. Wonderful. Putting that left foot back down and letting your legs fall to the right, arms open, palms facing up. Breathing deep and feeling that big stretch through the side body, down through the hip. Interval slowly coming back through center, letting your knees swoosh from side to side. Now we just need to get into the inner thighs for a moment. So we're going to do a version of happy baby. So hugging in your knees and bringing the knees apart. Maybe this is enough of an inner thigh stretch. Maybe you want to have your feet trying to stand on the ceiling, maybe grabbing your outer calves and pulling your knees downwards. Maybe you can reach up to the outsides of your feet. Maybe you want to support under your knees and open right up. So just doing some version that feels good to your inner thighs. Breathing deep, and on the exhale, just try to feel your legs relax, letting go. Your next exhale, bringing everything back together, giving it a little hug, maybe rocking from side to side a bit. And we're going to put our feet on the floor, heels walking in a little bit, and let's feel the core engaging again. Let's feel the pelvic floor lifting up, the core nice and strong, hands alongside our hips, palms facing down. So with keeping the core strong the whole time, we're going to inhale, pelvis up, glutes engaged, pelvic floor engaged, everything working. And then slowly with a strong, strong core, lowering back down with resistance. So you're inhaling, engaging the glutes to press up, exhaling, slowly lowering back down. So with your own breath, but really try and keep everything working. Wonderful. The next time you're on the floor, we'll give our knees a little bit of a hug and then try and do an upside down downward dog. So trying to extend your legs with your feet flexed, and maybe then extending your arms with the heels of your palms pressing up, trying to get your spine nice and long, and then tucking in your chin a little bit. So sort of like the whole back body is now stretching out. Good. Take a nice big inhale, then exhale, folding everything in. Good. Take another nice big inhale, and as you exhale, let everything just flop open into your Shavasana. Letting your hips fall open, your shoulders, just shake them out, get them loose. Maybe looking side to side a bit, just loosening your head and neck. And then closing your eyes and noticing your breath. Maybe feeling a gentle lifting of your chest on the inhale. And then on the exhale, just feel your whole body in contact with the floor, melting downwards, letting go. If you have time in your day to stay in Shavasana, please do. I'll be ending the session, so you don't have to worry about pressing any buttons. If you need to move on with your day, gently waking up your body, maybe stretching out or moving in whatever way feels good. And then when you're ready, rolling onto your side, resting there for a moment. And then making your way back up to seated, however feels good and however gives you a nice long spine. So let's just do a few inhaling our shoulders up. Exhale, letting them go. 2 more of those. Good. Now just closing your eyes or looking down at the floor. Just taking in some deep breaths. Thinking about something, some helpful thought that you'd like to remember. And namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, guys. I'm just going to stop the recording.